Oh, it's already started. Didn't know that. Cool. So it's like Wednesday. I think it might be like 11:30. Just got off work off a nice 13-hour shift because the debt don't stop until you do. But we're gonna do a quick little update video, and by quick, you know, I mean it's gonna be like half an hour because I just do not know when to shut up. But I don't remember the last time I did an update video. I don't remember how much I need to like delve into, but like, you know how it be. Life during Corona quarantine times is ever changing, and so much happens in a week. It's crazy. But I now have 2 jobs. Let me catch you up to speed on basically everything that's happened since quarantine started. I did get laid off of my job at the movie theater. So fun, because all movie theaters are closed because they're non-essential, which is like so valid because we do not need non-essential business coming in. We need to slow the spread, what's it called? Flatten the curve. Fucking stay in your house, my god. But now I work at a grocery store. I don't know if the reason I don't say which movie theater I work at is because as much as I talk about how much I hate it, I do enjoy working there. I enjoy the people that I work with, and I don't want to get fired. But at this grocery store, I don't really care, but I do need this job, so I don't want to say it now. But when I quit, I'm definitely gonna say the brand, but I don't want to possibly get fired because I do need this job because we have a lot of bills to pay right now. It's super fun because everybody's hours are getting cut everywhere, and I am now the breadwinner of the family, so gotta make sure I keep these jobs. So we're not gonna jeopardize it any way, shape, or form. But I work at a grocery store, and I also work at a crisis center. I don't really know what to call it. It's I technically work at a homeless shelter, but it's usually homeless shelters they only provide housing for the night, but because of the whole virus we do housing 24/7 because we don't want to push people onto the streets where they can get the virus and die. But there have been many confirmed cases at the places that I work, and there was the actual CDC there the first day that I worked, and I got tested for coronavirus, which was fucking crazy. Should that be the title of this video for nice good clickbait? We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna exploit this tragedy because I'm not an awful person. But if I were an awful person, if I were a Jake Paul, that would be the title of this video. But I did get tested for coronavirus, and I tested negative, thank God. But that was crazy. It's not fun, but it's not awful. The test where they stick it into your nose, it's your body will start crying as sort of a natural reaction trying to get it out of your body, but it's not awful. Maybe my pain tolerance is just really high because I've had procedures done where it's very painful, so this was just, it was nothing, and it's very quick. And I had a wonderful, I think she was a nurse practitioner, I think that's what she said her title was. Her name was Emily. Sweetheart, she was so lovely. But I tested negative, which is wonderful because there's a bunch of people there that did test positive. So that's super fun, just putting myself at risk every fucking day. For you bitches who want to go to the fucking grocery store and buy cake batter, I get it, there's nothing to do in your home and you're so fucking bored and you want things to just go back to normal, you want a sense of normalcy to hold on to. But I swear to God, if one more fucking Rebecca comes into my grocery store just to buy cake batter and icing tips, I'm gonna lose it. That's not essential. Fucking stay home. Blows my mind. Hate those people. But that's not, we're gonna get to that rant later, but I work at a homeless shelter. That's one of my favorite jobs because it's so chill there and all the people that I talk to are really chill and I just get to sit. It's kind of like my house manager job. I just get to sit and talk to people and it's really nice. Sometimes I do work, but I get paid all the time that I'm there and it's lovely. I love doing that. I do not like working at this grocery store, not for one fucking second. Maybe it's because it's a pandemic and everybody's just awful, but I hate everybody that I interact with. And every second that I'm there, I want to quit. But I can't because I need this money. I never got those memes where people genuinely hate their job because I've disliked a lot of aspects of the jobs that I've had in the past, but there's always been some part about it that's where I've been oh, this is okay, and I don't dread my life. It doesn't my hatred for my job has never bled into my hatred for my life. But this job does that. This job makes me hate my life and it's awful and I hate it, especially because now I have 2 jobs and they're technically both part-time, but together they make one full-time job. And when you're also in a pandemic, everything just feels like a lot. I'm really only working like 40 hours, which is nothing. I could be working 50 if my fucking grocery store just like gave me more hours like they said that they would, but they're not going to. I can only work 30. I can work like a maximum of 30 hours at the crisis center that I work at, and they used to be giving me 30 hours at my grocery store, but now they're only giving me 20. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I told you I have open availability. Like, just like, hello? And especially since they're only 6 minutes away from my house, which is the closest my job has ever been to my house, which is truly wonderful, and it's lovely. And usually I would take the bus there because it's so fucking close, but now that like we're in a pandemic and like I'm at one of the epicenters of the pandemic, all of the buses are basically just like not running. But thankfully I have people in this household who know how to drive and have cars, and they drive me, and it's lovely. And they just won't schedule me, which is wild. I don't understand that. I told them I have open availability, but they won't schedule me because they have like a cut down on labor. Because like the weird thing about this job is I got it through my job at the movie theater because they're both big corporations, and they're like friend companies. They're not like related companies, so they're not like sister companies, but they're like homie companies or something. So I got my job from working at the movie theater. Like I filled out a special application for it, and that meant I didn't have to interview or anything. I just got the job and showed up on my first day. So it's a weird situation where people are just like, oh, did you come from like a different one of the locations, or like why'd you start working here? And I'm like, I just got the opportunity from my last job, and I'm the only person who actually did it from my job because I can't file for unemployment. Don't know if I got into this in my last. We're just gonna get into everything just in case. Give you the whole rundown. I can't file for unemployment because you need to have worked 680 hours in the past year, and I didn't do that because I just started working in July because I was like, oh, I need a job to start paying for college, because the school that I went to before was like not expensive in the slightest, but when you go to like a private art school, that shit's expensive, and I was like, oh, I need a job to start paying for that. So I just started working in the summer. So I didn't work 680 hours last year. So I can't file for unemployment, even though one of my friends said that they're like relaxing those like restrictions or whatever. But either way, even if I could file for unemployment, it's not going to give me the amount of money that like I need right now. Like our family needs a lot more money than what unemployment can give us, especially with that stimulus check, because I don't get a stimulus check because I was claimed as a dependent, so I don't get anything. And I'm also too old to get that $500 bonus for my mother, so like we get nothing from me from the government. So I have to go risk my life, be an essential worker, go bag people's groceries, which is the most annoying fucking thing in the world. I hate it. I saw this post, I think it was like on Tumblr, but it was a post about Facebook or something like that, where someone was complaining about how they're like, why do we need all these people bagging my groceries? It's a stupid, unskilled job, blah, 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 blah. Like, we don't need these people. And like, I fully fucking agree. If you, Craig, want to come to the grocery store and bag your own fucking groceries, I would love that, but you don't. You stand there with your arms crossed and tapping your foot as I figure out how to fit your like 20,000 cartons of milk into one fucking bag because you don't want to pay for the extra bag. I hate you. I hate you. I fucking hate this job. It makes me so mad. Like, I don't want to bag all these fucking groceries, especially those people who are like the backseat drivers of you bagging their groceries, where they're like, you shouldn't put that on top of that, and you should put this next to these items. And I'm like, if you had all these fucking opinions, why don't you bag your own fucking groceries? Especially the people who bring their own bags and like have their own form of payments. I don't get why you're not in the self-checkout line. Why? Like, the only reason that I would think you would be in like a check stand line with a human is if you like needed the bags from them, or you needed it bagged like by a person because like you can't bag it yourself for whatever reason. There are valid reasons. Some people don't have them, but there are valid reasons. Or like you need to like give us a specific coupon that you can't use at the self-checkout machines. But people who bring their own bags and just like pay with card, why are you in my line? Why don't you just go to you had all of the ability to do this on your own, but you got into my line. What were you trying to gain from this? I'm not gonna make conversation with you. I am strictly here to perform a service. You are getting no emotional labor out of me. I'm not making conversation with you. I may be going to say, do you want a bag for your gallon of milk? Because some people want their jugs of milk in bags when they already have a handle on them. Those people are stupid. But some people want that. Maybe then I'll ask you a question, but we're not going to have any small talk. How's your day going? How's the weather? Because it's just going to end up you being like, thank you so much for working. When I know you're not thankful because you very much could have just not been here. If you really cared about us and our safety, you would not fucking be in this store. So maybe shut your mouth. Give me your cash, because people still like to pay in cash. I get it. Because my mother has explained that we live in an area in which we have a lot of lower income people, and not all those people can have like credit cards and bank statements and whatever. And that's fine. But the fact that I still have to handle cash when there are self-checkout machines that can just take cash into a machine, why aren't there just machines taking our cash? Why do I have to physically handle money in a pandemic? Why? Why even not in a pandemic? Why does a human have to physically handle cash? I don't see a reason why. It doesn't make any sense, especially since at my grocery store, when you give change, you don't even have to give the full amount of change. There's a machine that gives the coin amount of change. You just have to give the dollar bill amount of change. So at that point, why do we not just have it all automated? It doesn't make any fucking sense. I hate it. I hate every aspect of that job. If you can't tell, it gets me so heated because I hate working there. I had a point. I was going somewhere with what I was saying. Oh yes, people not getting essential groceries. I hate nothing more than seeing somebody in my checkout line with like 2 items. If you have less than 10 items in your cart, you do not need to fucking be here. You can be at home. Like, I fully understand that in this time of like uncertainty and panic, you want to feel like you have control over something and you want to feel the normalcy in your life again, which means that you're like, my favorite brand of whatever, or this type of food that I always eat for dinner. I need that still in my life in order for me to feel calm and sane. But Cindy, we don't need that right now. If you can't get your special brand of bread for your favorite sandwich for lunch, you're just gonna have to fucking deal with it for right now. You cannot come into a grocery store and put, really, truly, if you think about it in the big picture, thousands of people at risk because you need one specific item to make you feel better about your life. We don't fucking need that right now. You need to stay the fuck home. It makes me so angry when people are clearly buying non-essential items. You need to buy all of your groceries at once. You can't just come in with every little thing that you need thinking that it's essential. It's not. If you are not going to die tomorrow if you don't get it, it's not fucking essential. You need to stay home. It makes me so angry because as it is at our grocery store, we do not have enough personal protective equipment, and it is so angry. They just gave us like masks, which I don't even use. I should get my mask, but it's all the way across the room because I have one nice reusable like fabric mask that I got for my job at the crisis center because they gave us really like good protective equipment because they care about us. But they don't at this grocery store. They barely give us gloves. They used to give us like latex gloves for like 2 days. We ran out of those very quick. Now we get those like weird, like clear, like slippery food service gloves that like don't fit your hands and they rip in 2 seconds. Those fucking suck. And they do give us like those like surgical masks, which I also just feel weird about having because I know that there's a shortage of them and that they need to go to like healthcare workers, so I don't get how we have them. But we have those. We have the disposable ones of those, and they also gave us fabric masks, but they're clearly just like one sheet of like a t-shirt, like t-shirt cotton fabric, like cut into the shape of a mask, and it is the least reassuring thing I could ever see. I wish I had them to put on camera, but I literally just, I don't even know where they are because I don't use them because they're laughably ineffective. So we don't have anything to keep us from getting this virus at this work. So it makes me truly infuriated every time I see somebody there who clearly does not need to be there. It makes me even more angry when there's people like audibly complaining about all of these precautions that we've put in place in order to protect our workers and the people in our store. Like, they're complaining about social distancing, or they're complaining about the fact that we can't touch personal belongings. Like, we don't bag other people's groceries if they bring in their bags anymore. And like, there's a rewards card that we have at our grocery store, and you can usually just swipe it at the pin pad, but sometimes it doesn't swipe, and then you would usually just take it and scan it at your register, but we can't do that anymore. And those people get so fucking angry. And this one bitch, she came up to me this morning at the start of my shift, and she got so mad that I wouldn't take it, and she was like, I don't have any germs on me, and you're wearing gloves anyways, I have the protection of God on my side. And I almost decked her right there. If I didn't need that job, I would have punched her in the face and I would have quit on the spot, but I can't do that. And it's just so offensive. Like, I get it. People, like my mother said, people need faith at this time. I don't care. You cannot do that to me. I'm not gonna get into a whole religion argument right now, but some people don't believe in that sort of bullshit and knows that people are dying. And this bitch does not want to be one of them. I got things to do. I got bills to pay. I got MCR concerts to go to. So I'm not gonna catch corona because you're a dumbass. I hate it. I hate this job. Everyone there is awful. And I hate the people who don't respect the like obvious, clear, laid out things that the CDC is telling us. Especially when they're like, don't go out if it's not essential, which a bunch of people are fucking still doing. It makes me so angry. And 2, go if you have to. If you absolutely have to, which most of you don't. If you absolutely have to go out, don't go when everyone else is going, which means don't fucking go at 3 o'clock. Everyone and their mother is fucking at the grocery store at 3 o'clock. Doesn't matter what day, they're at the grocery store. 3 o'clock. Every fucking day, we're always busy. And it makes me so goddamn angry, because at the beginning of my shift, there's nobody there. At the end of my shift, there's nobody there. But right at 3 o'clock, everyone's fucking there. Why? You know everyone's gonna be there at 3 o'clock. Don't fucking go to the grocery. Don't be there. Just, like, stay home. I don't care if you just got off work. You're gonna go home and then you're gonna go back out again. You know why? Because it's a fucking pandemic. It makes me so angry. It's just clear that no one actually respects our lives. That's the thing that pisses me off the most. That it's clear that when people do that, they're like, my needs of needing to feel like safe and okay right now are worth more than your life. That's what you're saying when you do that bullshit. And it's not cute and it's not fun. And I have to do that for minimum wage. It makes me angry. And it makes me angry that I have to do it. Like, people, like so many people when I like post shit like this on like my Snapchat or whatever are like, you really don't have to. And I'm like, but I do. Because if I don't work, then we fall into debt and we start draining all of our bank accounts, and that when this is hopefully possibly over, we have no money, and then we lose all of the things that we own. So we really cannot do that. I don't think, sorry, I don't know if you get how money works, but the government's gonna keep taking it whether we have it or not. So I'm gonna need to keep working at this place that I hate, in a place that constantly puts me in danger. It's super fun. You would think that the homeless shelter would be the most dangerous place to work, but they genuinely put shit in place. They give you ample amounts of masks, ample amounts of gloves, places to wash your hands, paper towels, personal protective equipment, space to keep social distancing, all that good shit. They fucking care. And they do like basically weekly testing. I don't know how they have the resources for that when like nobody else can get a test, but I get that like we are more of a high risk area and they want to keep that low, especially since there's already been confirmed cases and people needed to be like actually quarantined and like all that. Don't know how that's working, but we be doing it, and that's like, it's very reassuring. And then that like, it's especially since we're a very small organization compared to this giant like nationwide corporation grocery store that I work for, where they're not doing anything like that. The closest thing they do is when you clock in for your shift, you're supposed to go up to the manager and like do this health screening where they basically just ask you, do you have any of the symptoms of the coronavirus? And then you say no. And then they believe you, and then you go to work. And like sometimes you don't even check in because sometimes there's just no manager and you have to go work. And it's awful, and I hate it. I hate every second that I'm there. I hate every second that I'm there. I've never truly hated a job before, but I don't like any aspect of this job. Like literally every second of it I hate. It's awful, and it's the bane of my existence. I truly cannot wait until things start opening again so I can quit. I hate it, but I have to do it. This wasn't going to turn into a whole essential workers rant, but here we go. If you want to be a better person during these times, here's how to help essential workers. Actually go out if it's actually essential. Think to yourself, can I go without this item for a few days until I need more items so I can make one trip to the grocery store? If the answer is yes, but I don't want to, stay home. If you don't absolutely have to go out, if it's not essential, you should stay home. That's just sort of a fact. And if you're saying this thing is essential, but there is genuinely nothing else that I need, there's always something else you could overstock on so that later down the line, you don't have to go again. That's what you need to be thinking. You need to be thinking long term. That's what I feel like a lot of people are missing, is that this isn't just a pandemic for like right now. I get that we're all just sort of living in the moment. We're just taking it day by day, but you really need to be thinking further down the line. Like in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months from now, what are you going to need? And you need to just bulk. Buy it all at once. Buy everything you can buy at once. Any perishables that you need to consistently go to the store to buy, don't stop buying it. Stop buying it. Milk? So many fucking people are buying milk. Stop it. You don't need it. I get that there's this whole like crisis with like milk farmers like suddenly not having anywhere to put their milk and just having to throw it away. And yes, it's a giant like issue in America that we're just wasting a bunch of food that could go to like people who actually just like need things to survive. But if you can go without milk, which you can, no one like needs milk to survive, don't buy it. Buy things that you can keep in your home so that you can stay in your home for longer. I know you don't want to, but the only way we can get out of this as quickly as possible is if you fucking stay home. Stay home. And when you go into a grocery store, please, for the love of God, just shut your mouth. Just stay quiet and just follow the rules. It's so simple. It's so simple to stay quiet and follow the rules. That means don't go when there's a lot of people, i.e. 3 o'clock. Because you know what happens when there's too many fucking people who show up at 3 o'clock? We have to make them wait outside in like a line. Do you want to do that to go to a grocery store? No, you don't. Don't do that. Go when they open, not during the high risk hour. Don't do that. Like right when, like in the first hour when they open, where it's for the elderly and people at a higher risk. Don't go then. Don't be an asshole unless you are like want to fit into one of those categories. Don't do that. But right at the next hour, at the very beginning when they open, that's when you should go, because that's when there's nobody there. Or right before they close. I know that in general circumstances, like going to a place right before they close is like a dick move, but if you know you can like get all your things before they like actually close, then you're fine. Because that's when there's going to be nobody there, and that's when we prefer you to be there. It's when there's nobody there, so that there's nobody throughout the day. It's not, we don't want a bell curve. We want to flatten this curve as well. We want to eliminate the rise amount of people who come in right at 3 o'clock. Also, respect the fact that not everything's going to be about you right now. I get that you might be upset that the thing that you want isn't stocked on our shelves. You know, we want things in our delivery, but some things just aren't getting made right now. And I get that you might have bought something that you want to return, and we can't do returns right now. And I get that a lot of things just like aren't going your way. But considering that you're not having to work right now, because you're not an essential worker right now, it's not about you. Okay? When you're done with this, you can go home and stay quarantined and stay safe and stay assured in the fact that you're not going to come into contact with anybody who has COVID-19. We can't do that. We have to stand there and work 6, 8, 10 hours coming into contact with hundreds of people, any of which could have COVID-19, and we don't know. So it's a really shitty situation that you've put us in. We have to be here because we're essential workers. And it would be just great if when you're there, I don't want your empty words of thank you for being here. Because we don't want to be here. If you could just do your shit as quickly as possible and leave, wonderful. It'd be even better if you just don't get into a check stand. If you're able to get into self-checkout, please do it. There's no reason. Limit your amount of interaction with people. It's so simple. It's so simple. Anyways, rant over. My body has calmed down significantly at this point. I feel like I'm gonna edit like a whole essential workers thing at the beginning so that I can market this video as like with like a real message, and then I'll just put like my updatey shit at the end. I think that makes the most sense. Yeah. As you can see, I'm still in my living room because the construction on our house has been very much stop and start because we can't get any of like the things that we need because of like Corona, which is good. You know, we don't want non-essential work happening. I think this whole construction thing is really not essential, but we have already paid many dollars for it, and the team is still here doing it, so we're just waiting on that. It's taking a lot longer than we thought because there's a whole support beam thing that we need to get for the house before they can like renovate the rooms upstairs. We can move back upstairs, which is so fun. I'm trying to think of other updates. School just started. Super fun. All classes are online now. Don't know how that's possible. School just started on Monday. I'm taking a bunch of prereqs for my nursing degree. I have to take statistics and biology and psychology. And biology is like a lab class, which means that I have to like do labs for it. And in the original statement made by my school, like the only classes that would be in person were like classes that need to be in person, like lab classes, because you have to like do the lab. But apparently now you can just like do online simulations of the lab and just get the same credit, which makes me think, why aren't there always options like this if you could just get the same credit? It's weird. But I'm taking all my classes online, which is great, especially since what's it called? I registered for a biology class that was an 8 a.m. class. Disgusting, I know, but it was with the intention of being able to open for my movie theater job when I still had that job. So I'm very glad that now I talked to the teacher and we don't actually have to like do anything at 8 a.m. It's just a straight online class that we can do whenever, which is great. But that also means that I'm working 2 jobs and in school, and I've never done that. I did last semester. Technically, I was in school and also had a job, but it was nowhere near the same because there it was a performing arts school, which you've heard enough of me talk shit about that school, but my god, it's nowhere near this level of like having to do homework and stuff, because a lot of their shit is like in class, but this is a lot of like work I have to like actually read and do like essays and labs and reports and blah 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 blah, along with working, which is so fun. It's gonna be a rough quarter, but it should be done soon enough. Yeah, so I've just spent a lot of time working and now school, mostly just working. I just did a 13 today, so I'm so tired. Love working 2 jobs in one day, and then I had a 14 like last week. I'm so tired. Like, as much as I am so grateful, as much as I just talk so much shit about that job, I'm very grateful to have a job right now in a time in which a lot of people are unemployed, and it's a very scary economic time for a lot of families. I'm very grateful to have a job, to have multiple jobs, truly wonderful. But I do sort of miss the first like 2 weeks when I just had nothing to do. It was very nice to just be able to like chill and just watch a lot of YouTube. But I do know that me as a person, after a while, that gets very annoying, and my mind gets really restless, so I need to like be able to do something. So I'm glad that I have school now and 2 jobs to occupy my time with. It's been about a month since the whole virus pandemic really sort of set in, because the 14th of March that my job closed down, and then I was out of work for about 3 weeks. That was stressful because I applied to a lot of places that just like did not get back to me, specifically this grocery store, which I find very ironic because I applied to like every position there and they just like never got back to me until I filled out the application from my work, and then I was just like right there. But for like a good 3 weeks I just sat and waited and was worried and stressed, and I'm still very worried and very stressed, but I am grateful to be in the position that I'm in, but I'm also worried that it will just get worse from here, especially since, you know, like I said, working at a grocery store in which you interact with many different kinds of people, you don't know if you can get infected. I do everything that I can to not get infected. I notice that when I'm at work, I don't touch my face as much as I do when I'm at home, which is like a good thing, I guess. I don't think I notice. I think it's because I'm too busy, you know, like working with my hands to touch my face. So I've been good about that. I also like wear gloves and stuff, and I wear a face mask. Like truly all the time, because you can never be too careful, and like if you even slip up a little bit, that could be like the one moment that fucks you over. I'm glad that I got that test. I never thought that I could get tested for coronavirus, considering that the whole news coverage about it was like nobody can get a test. But I'm glad that I was put into a situation in which it was necessary for me to get tested, just so I could have the peace of mind to be like, no, you don't. But like I said, that could change at any moment, and I could just not know, which is super fun. Love doing that, because I also live with people who are at high risk. So if I get it, I could kill one of them, and I wouldn't know. Wouldn't that be just awful? Love life. Life is so fun. Life is great. This is why I care so deeply about people listening to the CDC. But it's so clear that there are people that are there that just genuinely don't care and don't see it as a big deal. And those are the people that I hate the most. And there's just nothing we can do about it, because like we still just have to like do the job of like serving the public, which is awful, especially when you're doing it for minimum wage. It's like, if we're so essential, maybe pay us a bit more, you know? If you really cared, you would give us more money. But they don't want to do that. So I'm excited to be a nurse, where I'm just going to be actually thrown into all of this, but at least then I'll get paid. I'll get paid, like real money. And that'll be fun. But life is sort of in shambles. Life is sort of stressful. Yeah, my house is sort of like an actual mess, because the whole construction team has been really all over the place. First we thought they were going to do the kitchen and the master, and then they can't get the kitchen cabinets because they like sent designs to a manufacturer in China and they're not getting anything to us. So now they have our money and we don't have any products, so we can't do the kitchen, even though we emptied the entire kitchen thinking that they were going to demolish it. They haven't done that. They were going to do the upstairs bedrooms, and they said it was going to take 3 days. We've been down here for 2 weeks because it's just not going that fast. And now they're saying that they're going to do the bathroom. So now we've emptied the bathroom. So it's going to be so fun. Just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. But I should go to sleep because I work again tomorrow. I had a day off on Monday, and that was truly a wonderful day. Oh my god, what a great day off. It was just, I just got to like sleep in, and then I got to like watch some It's Always Sunny. I got into that show at the beginning. Was it at the beginning of the pandemic, or was it before that? I think it was before the pandemic. But I got into It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I love that show. I've gotten to season 12 now, and it's a wonderful time. I've always heard things about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but I always thought, because of the way that people talked about it, that it was like an old show, like a show from like the 60s, like The Sopranos or some shit, and it's just not. It's been going on since like 2005, which is crazy. I think it's super cool. So many good shows started in like 2005, like Criminal Minds, 2005-ish. It's Always Sunny, 2005-ish. Supernatural was a good show. started in 2005-ish. And I just think that's super cool. Oh, didn't like Doctor Who come back around 2005? See? Good times. Good times. 2005. Can we just go back to like the early 2000s? I know a lot of things were bad, you know, with the whole terrorism and the war on terror. And I know Bush was president. But like, I just want to exist in the early 2000s when we didn't have a global pandemic. Back when we had a good president. Or at least a better, I'm thinking of Obama when I say good president, or a better president than what we have right now. It's just not a good time right now. But I'm stressed and very tired. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm sure I missed so many things in this update video. But this video is already 40 minutes long and I need to edit it and get it ready for 10 a.m. So I'm gonna go now. I hope you all are staying safe and healthy in your quarantine. If you are also an essential worker like me who has to go out, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I know that you wouldn't be doing this unless you absolutely had to, because no one would do this unless they absolutely had to, you know? Like, there's nobody who's, like, working right now who's like, I could stay home. Because if you can, you should. But, like, no, we don't get paid sick time. What do you mean? Especially since, like, paid sick time is such a fucking bullshit idea. Especially since, I don't know if it's, like, different in other areas, but at least here, you need to, like, work a certain amount of hours to get sick time. So it's not like you just, like, you start working and then you can just start taking sick. Like, if you started the job like new, like I don't have any sick time to use, so I can't do anything. I just have to work. So super fun. But if you're an essential worker, I am so sorry, and I hope you stay safe, and I hope your family stays safe, and I hope you all make it through this all peachy. I hope you make it through it like a nice like a nice cherry pie. That's not a saying, but it is now. If you're able to work from home, if you are just staying safe at home, thank you. If you're actually listening to the CDC and staying home and staying quarantined, thank you. If you're not, fucking listen and stay home, thank you. And hopefully we will all get through this eventually. I think we all can tell by now that it's not going to be over soon. It's going to be probably a few more months. But who knows how many those few months are? That's the gamble. Who knows? Will we be done by July? Will we be done by December? Will we ever be done? I think we'll be done once we come up with a cure, which is going to take about another year. Which is going to be so fun. But we're going to deal with the now. And I know that as things start looking better, because we're flattening that curve, that people are going to think it's okay, and it's not. You're going to have to stay in your home until the CDC says otherwise. Okay? Listen to informed healthcare officials and listen to reputable sources. That means the World Health Organization and the Center for Disease Control. Nobody else. Nobody else. Oh my god, I just went into a blind rage. It just kept going and now I've lost my train of thought.